Hey everyone, it's Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray. And the last person we wanted to see made a return to YouTube today, and that's the offended outcast, otherwise known as Raymond George Kreps. And I guess he wanted to catch his audience up. I mean, I guess he couldn't do it any further with Buy Me a Coffee since they took him off their site and won't let this child SO take money from people. But thank you, Buy Me a Coffee, for that one, by the way. But yeah, shockingly, or unshockingly, always thought he would make another video. So I'm not surprised. Yesterday was YouTube payday. And Ray is always going to test the waters to see if he can return because that sweet YouTube bag is just too much to resist for Mr. Kreps here, Mr. Raymond George Kreps. So if you're not familiar though, let me remind you before we get into this react real fast who Raymond George Kreps is, especially if you're new to my channel, okay? And I just want to always let everybody know that everything that I do obviously is fair use. And even though I am a registered nurse here in the United States, do not treat, diagnose. This is information, educational purposes only. Okay, so who is Raymond George Kreps? Let me make me smaller. Raymond George Kreps, if you are not familiar, is somebody who is a registered SO and for a child under the age of 14. So the child, I think, was 13 at the time. And so this is not just your regular SO, this is a child SO. And he set up a YouTube channel where he decided that he was going to be a lonely senior widower and, needing to get, some company. And this was not his first attempt at a channel. And he got these AI scripts together because you can tell the amount of verbiage that he was putting out. It just had to be mass produced from something. And he really just like tugged on people's heartstrings. Well, it turned out the wife was still alive. The person that passed away was actually the boyfriend of Raymond's who defended him during the trial against this child. Raymond turned out to also have other felonies, including forgery and uttering, and a strong-armed robbery in Florida. And his military career was about 2 years. And so Raymond isn't as impressive as you think he is. And I just want to remind you one more thing about Raymond before we get started. There was another family that had lived next to Ray and supposedly had brought this little boy over to his home recently. And it turned out this child hasn't been seen recently, but the way, if you hear how Raymond interacts with this little boy, it's terrible. All right, I'm going to play this real quick. I did obviously blur the child.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing?
You can kill yourself.
What are you doing, boy?
You can kill yourself, dude.
That's a piece of equipment. Sorry.
What'd you learn?
You're gonna break your leg if you're not careful. No, it's not jungle gym, boy. It's here. When the river came up, this part here, this log.
Okay, so I actually work as a pediatric RN and I trained also as a teacher, not for that age group. I did more what we call elementary, I guess, here in the US, primary in the UK. And I don't know how much a 3-year-old's going to learn around that type of equipment. That really is something that the adults should be managing. I think cussing at a little kid, the derogatory slangs that Raymond used. I mean, this isn't a good guy. So I just want you to sort of take that into consideration when we watch Ray play poor, pitiful me in this video. Okay, let's bring on the star of the show, Mr. Raymond Kreps himself, guys. And he's at normal speed, and I'm just going to let him take it away and let him use his animals as a tool of manipulation. And take it away, Raymond, because we don't know how long this may stay up before he privates this video. But he wants to, like I said, he wants to test the waters, maybe get a little bit of jingle jangle into his pocket for September. Because Ray is not out of the paid partnership program with YouTube, because YouTube is not as effective as Buy Me a Coffee. I hate to say it.
My name is Ray. I'm glad you're here today. I wanted to go ahead and say a few things today. A lot of you have asked why I haven't been on. And to be honest with you, I thought it best just to stay off and to just be quiet. But I did want to address a few things today.
Okay, so the video's edited. Who knows with Ray if he got this in an AI script. And yeah, okay, keep going.
So here goes. One of the things that had been said was that I had harmed my own animals and used them as props in my videos. And that is very untrue. And I love my animals and I deeply cared for them.
Well, then why did you come out with a video where you said that they were so treated poorly? So we'll let him finish because this is my first time actually seeing this video. So this is a blind react, guys. I just saw it and then I've been busying around with my own dogs and stuff. So I haven't seen it what he has said.
So where are they? Well, I'm in the process of getting my animals adopted out. And because the reason why is because what happened on that mountain. The fact that people would harm innocent animals and use them in that way truly.
Well, we've already had the conversation where if you thought your animals could come to harm, there are places where you could have put them safely in a paid animal kennel or something locally and not have had the animals there. So that really is on you, Ray. Stop blaming other people, okay? It's really gross at this point to use your animals to try to come after other people. It's gross. It really is gross. You and you alone are always responsible for the welfare of your pets. So why were they left in an unsafe situation? Should have picked them up, scooped them up, taken them to a kennel, taken them to a friend's house. You know plenty of people in Kentucky Ray. You could have taken it to the Check-A-Vet location. That place is huge. I'm sure they had space over there with Michael Carmichael.
Saddens me, and it makes me angry as well.
Makes me angry with you.
So the only thing I could do when I got where I was going was to start the process of getting them adopted out. And that's what I've been working on because they are my first priority. And so Screwball, my small black lab, my little ball of energy, he got adopted out by a loving family in Cadiz, Kentucky. And so now he has a nice new home.
This guy gives me the heebie-jeebies. He makes me quite irritated. I really don't like people using their animals like this. He's really scummy, okay? This man's scum, okay? Just remember. He's a 3-time felon, absolutely lied to his audience, took money from people, lied to people, lied about a deceased wife. Absolute scum, in my opinion. Just remember it as he sits here and talks about these animals. Who the hell knows if any of this shit's true?
And I'm very happy for him, and he's doing real well. When I first got here, I surrendered Sammy, my big rescue, to the Humane Society so he could get adopted out. And I'm actively following his progress to make sure he does.
Great.
And I will.
Great, Ray. Now you're going to have a bunch of people calling a bunch of humane societies in Kentucky trying to chase up this poor animal. God, he really is a POS.
Make sure he gets a good home. And so that left me with Puppy and the 3 Chihuahuas. And
you know, Ray,
Skylar.
Ray, why don't you get your normal voice back? You know, the one we heard you screaming at the kid or talking to the other folks, other than this pathetic POS voice that you got going. Because we know what you really sound like, okay? This is pathetic. You sound pathetic. It's irritating. It actually grinds my gears to hear you try to manipulate people like this. And I know I'm going to get a bunch of wild comments because people are unhinged.
one of my cats. And they are located in a private kennel service, and they're in the process of getting adopted out too. And in tomorrow's video, I will shoot some film because I get to go see them. And so that makes my day. I get to go see them tomorrow and I'll shoot some film, and you'll be able to see that they're well cared for and that they're safe.
Oh God, you're gonna do that, you know, and try to relaunch your channel? Does anyone say the thing about you?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I mean, that's like polite for who you are, Ray.
And, you know, I do want to bring them home. Of course I do. They are the center of my life. And they give me balance. But I don't think I can keep them safe. After what happened to them on the mountain.
We have no evidence. This guy's full of shit. We have no evidence. There's no pictures. There's nothing. He is a really just awful human being, in my opinion.
Because that was very real.
Yeah, okay. And no photos. They were shot. We got no receipts.
And yes, they were traumatized and terrorized. And it really shocked me to see them in that when I went back to get them.
We got no photos. Ray is a con artist. Okay, guys, just remember, 3 times felon and a con artist since like probably the 80s. So just remember, this guy's got like 40 some years learning how to con and grift and manipulate people. This is pathetic, Ray. It's sad, actually. Using your animals like this is a horrible human being.
The only thing I can do is try to do my best to protect them and to keep them safe and to try to get them adopted out.
You should have done that in the first place.
So that's what I've been working on. And so a lot of people have asked me, you know, well, what are you doing now? And, well, I'm just trying to pick up the pieces here and to move on with my life.
Oh, for God's sake. None of it's anybody's problem but yours. And you have a bunch of stuff going on in the background anyway, Ray. Whatever with Checovet and Michael Carmichael and whatever the going on over there and the financial stuff going on that we're going to talk about now that you've made an appearance.
Because that's all I can do. One of the things that was said also that bothered me, which is untrue, is my involvement with Checovet, a nonprofit veteran suicide prevention organization.
How is your name on there?
And
how is your name on all the IRS paperwork, Ray? You're going to have to explain how is your name on all of the IRS paperwork. Explain. Explain.
Accusations that I had been stealing money from that organization. And that is blatantly untrue. And their records will prove that.
There is some real fishy stuff going on with property and the money there, because a good percentage of that charity's money is not going to programs actually for the recipients of the charity. Most of it seems to have gone over to property. So I would be curious. And you are on that record, Ray. How many Raymond Kreps are there in Kentucky? Especially ones with a history of forgery.
Simple role as a volunteer. I had a read-only access to their bank statements. So I could
bank statements? Oh, yeah. This is juicy. Keep going. This is juicy. This is some juicy stuff, guys. Because I made there's been a couple of folks, but I know I made a video and people have been trying to take me down on that one.
Transcribe that data into an accounting program, which then gets forwarded to their CPA. And all of their records will support that.
Yeah, but there's a percentage of where things are going towards like occupancy that I'm very curious about. Whether it's finalized by a CPA or not, there's some very interesting accounting or where the monies for this particular charity are being designated to. And I think that bears further investigation because there's a lot that goes to occupancy, land, property, and very little towards the programs themselves. And it's lowered the housing tax to the property tax because obviously now it's a charity. So there's been some very interesting things that have happened.
All of their records are spotless and transparent and open to inspection. And I can't thank Michael Carmichael enough for allowing me to serve in some small capacity, to be able to give back to my fellow veteran brothers and sisters.
2 years.
And it truly made a difference in my life. And it was a positive impact in my life. And I very much enjoyed being able to give back. And I can't thank him enough. He's been a real friend.
Okay. Let me just remind everybody that Raymond is somebody who obviously has been somebody in a court case in Wisconsin. Just to show you here, right here. He was found guilty of uttering and forgery on this particular court case. Here in Wisconsin, he was a defendant. Just to share a couple of other things on this particular Wisconsin case. He obviously had also, if we take a look here, again, I want you to see all the different counts that Raymond was found guilty of as a felony charge, forgery and uttering. And yet he's, talking about being connected to this charity. And now he's trying to, absolve himself from this because it's bad. All right, keep going.
A lot of trust and support in me. And I thank him for that. One of the other things that was said, which I had proven otherwise in one of my previous videos, was stolen valor. Well, that's not true either. And I've shown proof of that. But this isn't about me, okay? I'm not here to justify or make any excuses. Do I regret what happened here? Absolutely. Yes, I do have a past, and it's not a pretty one, but it's decades old. And people do make positive changes in their life.
All right. And I've always said I have tried to correct the thing about Raymond and his, military past because he's so fussy about wanting people to make sure they know. So I just want to share, okay, what we did find out in the end is that he served for 2 years, okay? So, Ray, we have corrected this. We're going to keep correcting you. He served for 2 years in the United States Marine Corps from April 25th, 1984 to June 14th, 1986. I did find out, too, that he did enter through a training program in San Diego. But beyond this, there was nothing additional that they could provide for me. Every other person that has been in the military, even the Army Reserves, I've been able to acquire something about duty stations or some further information about their actual assignments. And this guy served for 2 years. And that's all we know, which is a really short amount of time. So Raymond has never addressed why his time in the Marines was such a short amount of time. So I think that would be interesting for him to address, other than this idea of stolen valor, because that's been corrected, sir. All right. Keep going, Raymond. We're going to keep correcting all your things here.
And they do learn from their mistakes and bad judgment. And you move on and you rebuild and you try to make
Yeah, but you're supposed to also let people know on your social media, and you needed to be reminded what the laws in Kentucky were around letting people know what your history is, especially if it pertains to a history of being an SO, especially a child SO, which is where the law is very specific. And you chose to ignore that, and you chose to not be honest about your history. And as I've always said, there are lots of different channels that will talk about their past and past criminal histories very openly. Nobody had any issue. You're a liar, though.
difference in this world in some positive way.
Go away.
And so I still own the land and I still own my vandalized cabin. And my goal is here to get the property sold, and that will take time. And get it sold and take the proceeds and make amends here. And because that's the thing to do here. I need to make things right here. So the only way I can do this is by showing. And so my goal is to, one, share the progress of that.
We haven't seen any of these, he didn't take one photo of the destruction of the cabin. And so this to me just seems to be a ruse in order for people to send him money through his PO box or gift cards or whatever. Please don't fall for it, guys. This guy is bad news, in my opinion.
As I go forward, that will take some time to sort out and get done. And I think the first step in showing is showing that no, I did not harm my animals. And so in tomorrow's video, you'll get to see them and you'll be able to tell that they're doing okay and that they're well cared for. I mean, the only way I can make a difference here and make an impact and is to do by showing. And so I encourage you to watch. I encourage you to follow along and see how things progress. Because actions mean more than words. And I deeply apologize.
This guy is a piece of work.
I mean, that's sincere. I hope you continue to watch and follow along. And I'll see you all on the next one.
I don't know, Raymond. I don't know whether or not coming back to YouTube was such a good idea. Wow. And then he wants to make monetized content about it, and we got Jeb out here. I wonder how he's feeling. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. I just wanted to make sure that if you did get to the end of this, give us a like, comment, hype the video just to get the word out that Raymond's back and, wanting your time on his channel, thinking that he's, a very pitiful person and he's going to be making all sorts of amends. I don't buy a lot of what he said. He's been a lifetime felon and con artist. And so I just find this very hard to believe. But if you did also get this far, why don't you pop a cabin? If there's like some type of cabin looking, or a house or something, some type of structure, since Ray says he's going to be selling his and supposedly giving it to some type of charity. I don't know. Who's he giving it to? Is he going to start like a charity himself? I have no idea what he meant by that. That's very odd. All right, guys. I'm going to play out and just remind everybody who the real Raymond Kreps is. I just want to thank you guys for taking your time today with me. Catch you on the next one. Bye.
Hey. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, don't forget. You can kill yourself.
What are you doing, boy?
You can kill yourself, dude.
That's a
not funny.
piece of equipment. Sorry.
What'd you learn?
You're gonna break your leg if you're not careful. No, this is not jungle gym,
What'd
boy.
you learn?
Here, when the river came up, this part here is this log.